Okay, I'm here in surface area number 1 assignment. In this first problem, we're going to fill in this chart looking at these 4 figures. So figure A right here, is it a prism or a pyramid? Remember that a prism has 2 congruent bases. And so right here we have, we could say this triangle is a base and this triangle is a base, right? And they would be the same length. They would have the same measurements. Whereas a prism has 2 bases, a pyramid only has 1 base, and all the faces of a pyramid meet at one vertex, one point. So figure A here has 2 bases, and so we're going to say it's a prism. So you can put a text box in here and type in prism. Okay, next is shape of the base. We've already identified the shape of these bases are triangles, right, on figure A. These are triangles. And so figure A would be a triangular prism. Triangular prism. Okay, so next is number of faces. Number of faces. So here in figure A, we have the bases are faces, of course, right? From here to here, that's a face. This is a face, so there's 2. And then we have the 3 sides, right? That's a face, and then this front view is a face. So number of faces, there are 5 faces, right? The top and the bottom and the 3 sides. Number of vertices. Remember, the vertices are where the edges meet, like the corners of the shape. So we have a vertex here, here, and here. So there's 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so there are 6 vertices in figure A, and then edges. Edges are where the faces meet. So we have 1, 2, 3 edges, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so there are 9 edges in figure A. All right, let's look at figure B. Figure B, is it a prism or a pyramid? Does this have 1 base or 2 bases? Well, it has 1 base, right? This right here would be its only base. And as you can see, all the faces meet at one vertex. And so this is a pyramid. So you can put a text box and type in pyramid. Okay, now what is the shape of its base? The shape of the base here, that is a rectangle, right? And so we would type in rectangle for the base. So this would be a rectangular pyramid, a rectangular pyramid. Number of faces. How many faces does it have? Well, the base is a face, and then it has 4 triangular faces. Okay, so 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this also has 5 faces, 1 base and 4 faces for a total of 5 faces. Number of vertices. So you're looking at like the points here, the corners, so to speak. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 at the very top. So it has 5 vertices. 5 faces, 5 vertices. Next, for the number of edges. Number of edges. All right, so here it's where the faces meet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we also have 5, 6, 7, and 8. I know it got sort of clumped in there, but there are 8 edges. 8 edges. Okay, next, shape C. Is this a prism or a pyramid? Does it have 1 base or 2 bases? Looks like it has 2 bases, right? We could say that is a base and that is a base. 2 bases. So this is a prism. Next is, what is the shape of the base? Well, the base looks like a rectangle. And so we would say this is a rectangular prism. This is a rectangular prism. How many faces does it have? Well, it's got the top and the bottom. We could say it has the front and the back, and the right side and the left side. So it has 6 total faces. 6 total faces. Okay, number of vertices. So where the faces meet, we have sort of the corners are 1, 2, 3, 4. and then 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there are 8 vertices. 8 vertices. All right, what about edges? Edges. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have 12 edges. 12 edges. All right, last one here. You try that one. So is it a prism or a pyramid? Does it have one base or two base? What is the shape of its base? Count its faces, count its vertices, count its edges. All right, you try that one. Okay, now we're going to move in here to finding surface area. We've been finding volume. Surface area of a three-dimensional figure is the sum of the area of its faces. So you take all of its faces, find the area of them, and add them together. And what is helpful when finding the area or surface area of a three-dimensional figure is using what is called a net. A net is simply, it shows a three-dimensional shape as two-dimensional shapes. So it's like here in number 2, it's like taking this rectangular pyramid and like flattening it out. If you were to flatten it out, then it would look like this. Okay, and so let's find the surface area here. Let's find the area of all of the faces and then add them together. So let's first find the area of this, what looks like a square, right? This right here. It is from here to here is 16, and from here to here is 16. So indeed it is a square. Okay, and so let me put S for square, and I'll use text box. This is area of square. Okay, for area of square, we could say area equals length times width, or we could say area equals S squared, side squared, right? Because length times width, that would be 16 times 16, or that is 16 squared. 16 squared. So 16 times 16, that is what? 256. I believe that's 256. Okay, so next we're looking for sort of the area of these 4 triangles. And all 4 of these triangles are going to have the same area. So let's find the area of one of them, and then we can multiply by 4 to get the area of all of them combined. Okay, so area of a triangle, if you remember, area of triangle, area equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, now the base of this triangle from here to here, that's 16, right? If from here to here is 16, then from here to here is 16. So let's plug in 16 for the base. Okay, so I'll have 1/2 times 16 times the height. What's the height of the triangle? Well, from here to here, it's showing me it's 17. The height is 17 of the triangle. Okay, so let me first do 1/2 times 16. 1/2 times 16 would be 8, right? 1/2 of 16 is 8. And then you're going to multiply by 17. Okay, so let me do this real quick. 17 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. And 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 3, right? So I get 136. Now, that is the area of one of the triangles, but I have 4 of them. So 136 times 4, because there are 4 of them, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 136 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. And 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Okay, so I get 256 for the area of my square, and 544 for the area of my rectangles, my triangles. And so to get the area of the whole thing, or the surface area, right, the area of its surface, the area of all the faces, I have 256 plus 544. I add those together, and I would get 800. Right? Now, this is area. Volume was in cubic units. Area is in square units. So this is inches squared, right? 800 inches squared would be my answer. Okay, number 3 here. Calculate the surface area of the solid figure represented by each net. So this net right here, I need to find the area of each of the shapes and then add them together. Okay, so let me start here in the middle. Okay, this right here, this rectangle. Let's find the area of this. So this is 15.5 times what? What is this? Well, if from here to here is 12.5, then from here to here is 12.5. So let me call this shape A. Okay, shape A is a rectangle. And to find the area of a rectangle, I do length times width, right? Length times width. So the length is 15.5. And the width is 12.5. The width is 12.5. Okay, so that's going to give me the area of shape A. Okay, next is area of, I could say, this triangle, which is going to be the same as this triangle, right? So let's find the area of this triangle. So area of triangle, I could put area of TRI, area of triangle, equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, so what's the base of the triangle? Well, the base is this, right? 15.5. So I plug that in for the base, 15.5. And I plug my height, which is 8.5. My height, which is 8.5. Okay, so I'm going to have to multiply 1/2 times 15.5 times 8.5, and that's going to give me an area of one triangle. Okay, and then I have two triangles, right? This one and this one are the same length. So whatever area I get here, I'm going to have to multiply by 2. Okay. Finally, I have this rectangle right here and this rectangle right here. But actually, they're special rectangles. They're squares, right? Because from here to here is 12.5 and from here to here is 12.5. So the area here is going to be 12.5 times 12.5. Okay, now that's the area of this square, and I have two squares. So again, I'm going to have to multiply by 2 to get the area of both of them. Okay, so I have area of squares, area of triangles, area of rectangle. Find the area of all three of them and then add them together, and that will give you your surface area. All right, last one here, number 4, some operating with decimals here. If your weekly salary is $520, how much do you take home each week after deductions, which mean money is going out of your account, out of your salary? So what I would do here is I would add up all of these to figure out total deductions. Okay, add up all of your total deductions. Okay, and so then you would take 520 minus your total deductions. So take 520 minus your total deductions, and that would be how much you take home each week. Okay, so 520, I would do 520.00. That's $520 minus your total deductions. So be sure to line your decimals up and then subtract. Because you're subtracting, I should see your work here and how you're borrowing when necessary. When you finish, go ahead and turn it in.